Hey there, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking at a Toyota Hilux. This one here from 1994, four-door, diesel, four-wheel drive, has 187,000 kilometers on it. And we'll check the condition of this one compared to the auction inspection sheet. This one was bought, of course, from auction. It's going to be exported over to the USA and imported under their 25-year rule. With 187,000 kilometers, that one puts this at about mid to low mileage for Hilux pickup compared to your average Hilux pickup. Condition-wise, this one's probably a little above average, but does have some corrosion issues, which we'll get into. Engine running condition seems to be pretty good. These engines are quite robust. It's a 2.8 liter non-turbo diesel. It's probably a little bit more robust than the 2.4 liter turbocharged version, simply because you're getting rid of the turbocharger, which is the heat, which is the reason why these potentially could fail. But from what I've seen, these are quite robust engines. It's called the 3L model, if you're curious. Okay, now this one, just going off of everything in here, the coolant looked like it was okay, the oil looked like it was okay. Timing belt has been changed at 181,000 kilometers in 2019, and so recently has some really terrible paint on the power steering pump. I'm not sure why they did that. And then the auction inspection sheet says that the engine room has some corrosion. I'll point out that. There's a tiny bit inside here that you won't actually be able to see because it's too dark in there. Let me just see if I can get a light. Even with a light, you can't really see that well. So if you're the owner, there's a little bit. It's actually less down there, at least what I can see, than what can be seen right here underneath these wires. See there? And oddly, there's a little bit on the underside of the hood here, even though it's not visible on the top of the hood. Here. So, a little bit strange. The auction sheet also says corrosion in the inner panels, which I'm going to point out right away because that is an important thing. Right there, you can see there's corrosion. And it's similar on the other side, just a little bit less. Right there. Okay, I'll lower the hood here. And the hood prop piece, the clip for it is broken, so you can't actually put it in there properly. Close the hood now. And quick look at it. This is a four-door pickup. The USA never got the diesel and never got the four-door, and so this is a little bit of a nice present for anyone in the USA. Toyota pickup trucks are highly valuable. They are loved by a lot of people, and this is one of the ones that everybody really wants. I'll quickly go over the auction inspection sheet here so you can see what the auction condition was. It's a 2.8 liter 1994 Hilux pickup truck with four-wheel drive. It's a auction grade 3. 3 is actually the lowest grade before you get into the problem grades. Grade 2 usually means it's either a scrap vehicle or close to a scrap vehicle, usually due to corrosion. Grade 3 is only one step above that and has to have some sort of a serious problem. In this case, it is the engine room corrosion and inner panel corrosion hole is actually the terminology that they used there. And interior grade is C. It's original red. This maroon red is probably the most popular color for the trucks. I'm not sure why that's the case, but it is. 187,709 kilometers at the time of auction. 5-speed manual. Almost all of them are 5-speed manuals. Autos are pretty rare to find, which is weird because it's kind of the opposite of what most vehicles like Land Cruisers are. It says it has AC. Actually, the AC doesn't work, and that wasn't mentioned here like it should have been, and so that's a net negative for you. Sorry about that. Purchase sales points here, purchase from user, 5-speed manual, sunroof, four-wheel drive, HID headlight conversion, and it's a diesel vehicle. The notes say that the owner's manual and the warranty papers are going to be sent to the buyer. And the report here says seat is ripped and has cigarette burns. There's actually cigarette burns on the rear seat and the front seat, and the front seat has 2 rips. I'll show you in a sec. Interior dirty, steering wheel peeling. It's more like cracked and worn down, not really peeling so much. Underside has been painted and has one section of corrosion. Now, I couldn't find the underside corrosion, but sometimes it can be hidden somewhere, so do take a look at that when the vehicle lands. Engine room has corrosion. Left and right front inner panels have corrosion holes. Exterior has paint fade and peeling, and yeah, pretty much the whole car needs a repaint due to paint fade, and that is very, very common on these. The body on it is in better condition than your average one, probably by far. If you were to take like the worst ones and the best ones, this would probably be about 6.5 or 7 in terms of the body, but the paint doesn't do it justice in how it looks. So with a repaint, you don't have that much work to do before you repaint it. Very scratches and dents. Bed section has been scratched and dented. You have heavy scratches on the hood here, a big dent on the tailgate, large scratches over here, and some medium scratches over here as well. Okay, so let's do a once around. You'll notice that we're in our lot now. It's just a really, really dark day, and with those big trees there, it sucks all of the light out of shooting there. And so on a dark day like this, we had room in the lot, so I thought I'd take all the cars out and just shoot in here. Okay, the small bed, small seats, it's like a Japanese pickup truck. It's very different from what you would expect. I guess, a lot of people are very happy about Toyota pickup trucks from the early 80s or even late 70s up until the 90s. And then they just kind of changed when they split off. The Tacoma and the Tundra were made for America trucks, and that took a lot of the Japanese appeal away from them. You can still get that with the Hilux, and they still make the Hilux new now, which in my opinion is better looking and probably even a better truck than what you can get in the USA with the Tacoma. The Tacoma is quite a bit bigger too, even though that is the small truck. We have a car carrier here, so we can't actually show the whole thing. Same thing happened on the other side. So let's just pretend we can see the whole thing in one shot and not get our pants greasy with that part of the truck. Ask Mike about that. He'll tell you exactly how pleased he is about every time we use the car carrier, he gets grease on his pants. Okay, so nowadays you would consider this to be quite retro styled. It has these sealed beam headlights. You can do basically whatever you want with this. You can make a truck like this look really awesome, and it will look awesome. Or you can keep it stock and it'll look awesome too. Bush bars, roof racks, bed like extra frames, exterior roll cages, fog lights. You can do it all. It's like a canvas for you. Paint fade. I'm not going to point out all of it, but basically hood, both front fenders, everything on this side. Everything on this side, but the back has been painted quite poorly. So not really much to talk about if you just assume that it's all bad. So I'll just kind of skip that. We'll look at some of the details. So front end is actually looking pretty good. Has a minor dent on the hood right here. The scratches on the hood are pretty big, but if you're going to be repainted in this paint faded hood, that doesn't matter so much. Going down here, they put leaves on. Who wants, or feathers, I guess. Who wants feathers on their truck? This person did. They also like West Coast Customs and Hot Wheels. This is the cheap man's version of a paint job. Okay. And a lot of these trucks smell like cigarettes inside. This one is no exclusion. If you see cigarette burns on the auction inspection sheet, you know it's been smoked in. These have small cabs inside. They're typically just chain smoked in, and they can be pretty gross. This one's kind of gross inside. Back section dent. The sills here have been highly scratched and dented. Dent here. And then it looks like a big dent here. There might be rust underneath because it feels a little bit bumpy, but I'm not sure. We'll take a look. This is the Second Amendment, America's Original Homeland Security. Kind of an odd sticker to be finding here in Japan. And other kind of hot rod style stickers, except it's a Toyota in Japan with Second Amendment sticker. Cool, I guess. Hooks here have been added on. The LN 107 still has the hooks on it. The 106 doesn't? No, this is a 109, I think. No, this is a 107. I'm all completely backwards. The 106 is the solid front axle. The 107 is the independent front suspension. So this is the later model with a more comfortable suspension, but no solid axle, and you lose the factory hooks that are on here. It has one of those like a I don't know what you would call it. You can put your fingers in and there are hooks inside. Yeah, if you just put 80s Toyota truck into the internet, you can see what that looks like. Does the tailgate open? It does fairly easily. It might also have some issue here, why they put the aluminum tape on there. And then it has a bed liner, keeping the bed in fairly good condition. That's a nice little bonus. But you can see it's been a well-used bed, lots of scratches and dents on the interior here. Has a factory roll bar there, which is a functional roll bar. It keeps your bed from making shimmy sounds and shaking too much. Okay. Does it offer any rollover support? I guess so. Tire houses are fairly rigid in these, but it's not directly attached onto the frame. So, not too sure. I guess somebody's going to have to roll one and find out. Okay, I haven't seen this Toyota badge on the back, or this graphic. It looks like it is an original piece. It's registered for 350 kilos carry capacity. I'm sure you can carry like 550 or 600 in one of these. Okay, going down this side, lots of paint fade, Has these visors. This is common in pretty much all vehicles in Japan. The Mark II has them. The FC doesn't, but I've seen them with them. That one's a French car. The BB has them from factory. The Lupo's not a Japanese car. This one has them. You can get cities with them. The truck has them. The WRX has them. They've been taken off of my truck. Anyway, kind of like a little mini lot tour, right? So the back section here, there's a hole here. It doesn't look like a cigarette burn hole. The cigarette burn is here. Besides that, the seats seem like they're in good condition and not used very often. They do make a two-door version of the four-wheel drive, but the four-door version is way more common. You can see the sunroof still has the original panel in it. That's good. It's a glass sunroof. Okay, going in here. So the door card has a bit of discoloration here and a bit of deformation. See how it's coming out a bit? And it's turned green a bit. The interiors of these do that, especially the steering wheel and the shift column. Both of those tend to discolor pretty frequently. The seat here isn't in the best shape. Should be pretty easy still to get these seats. I don't know exactly which trucks swap over, but I wouldn't be surprised if a 4Runner truck seat switches over, because the 4Runner is a very similar vehicle to these Toyota Hiluxes. The floor mat's not in the best shape. It's missing a piece here. It's worn out there, and the Hilux badge is worn away. Actually, all of the seat Hilux badges are worn away. Got a couple of cigarette burns here. Actually, I think this is, yeah, that is too. Rip here. Rip here. And cigarette burn there. Really simple gauges here, and a very long throw shifter. This is awesome. I love a shifter that's really long. Land Cruisers, Hilux, Toyota pickups, feels great. And the transmission feels very robust when you're shifting. It's really unlike anything else. And because it's directly off of the transmission, you don't have cables to make it all floppy. It feels very mechanical. Really good feel. Okay, all the dashboard and the vents are free of any cracks, although there are a ton of screw holes here. I don't know why they put screws in. It's almost like they did it for fun. Japanese hillbillies. Oh, you know what? I just saw a crack here that I didn't notice before. One of those vents has a crack in them. And this is JAF badge. It's like basically like AAA. It's a roadside assistance badge. Okay, no cigarettes came as a present, so you can't try Japanese cigarettes or the butts of them if you're curious. I'm joking, but I wonder if anyone's actually ever done that. We have had some cars that came with either a full pack of cigarettes or a partial pack of cigarettes or just loose cigarettes around. So it is a little bit gross to think about, but is it really grosser than smoking cigarettes to begin with? Maybe, but anyway. Coffee spill. Should be easy to clean up. And yeah, even more cigarette burns. So this person was a cigarette juggler, I must say. So yeah, interior needs some cleanup, has some cigarette burns. These types of things are fairly common. It is hard to get away from that kind of thing. All right, close the door here. And we're basically at the end of the video here. I'm gonna park this and then I gotta shoot that Mark II over there. Okay. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments, or you can send us an email. You can check out our website. There's a link to that in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.